Are you a Spandau Ballet type guy?
I'm sorry, I'm speechless.
There you go, Joe.
Back in Buffalo, you love Spandau Ballet.
That's hard to get me to be speechless. Good job.
That's all right. Well, we'll move on quickly from Spandau Ballet, Joe. Hey, thanks for being here with us this morning. I know it's a really busy time. You just had the rookie minicamp in there. You're getting ready for OTAs. What's it like in you had a full year last year, but now with that year under your belt, what's different for you this time around?
You know, it is different in a good sense. Number one, you know the guys, and that's a big deal, right? You've built relationships for a year. You've been through some battles together. And then the second big thing is everybody knows and understands what the process looks like. It's the second time around. But also because it's the second time around, you know, we made little tweaks here or there to try to keep getting better. So, definitely feel comfortable, and working hard.
Frank, we were all let down, and not as much as you guys, though, the loss in Kansas City. But when you sit back and think about how realistic was it to think that this team could have gotten to where they are, especially with the start of the season, and really had aspirations to go even further in your first year, and with all these guys, you know, just everything was so new and so many question marks about Andrew. It really was a miraculous year.
I mean, I agree that we felt, looking back on it, we felt it was an incredibly positive year, made a lot of progress, a lot of strides. Personally, you know, I tried to avoid the temptation at the beginning of the year of setting expectations. You're right. The one expectation that we talked about was that we're going to try to fight to get better every day. So that was kind of the mode, but, the confidence built, you know, and that's just because of the players. So, and now, right now the challenge is, you know, to manage expectations, where last year, you know, probably everyone's expectations were low. You know, now this year, hey, we got to stay focused on the same thing that we focused on last year, and that's just fight to get better every day.
Well, you do that in the off season. You do that during the season. There's no question about that. And I guess my question is, to follow up on Joe's, getting on a roll and trying to make sure that the preparation meets that. You've been on teams, whether it was Buffalo and you're playing, whether it was in Philadelphia last year with the 10-game winning streak. You've been on teams that have had rolls that go on for months and months. What's the secret to getting that done and staying on that roll?
Yeah, the secret is, you know, the players and the leadership in the locker room, you know, fighting and pushing every day to make the most of that day and not getting complacent. I mean, you know, to me, complacency is harder to fight than when things are bad. I mean, these guys are all tough guys. When things go bad and your back's against the wall, they're all going to come out fighting. But what's more challenging is when things are going well, when you are on a roll. So last year that we benefited, you know, so we proved that our backs were against the wall and we could come back from that. But we also proved that we could sustain week in and week out, and that's a real credit to the guys.
Frank, I want to get a little tougher here for you. I want to know your 1, 2, and 3 receivers, and would a tight end be one of those top 3 receivers? How do you see this offense working?
Yeah, no, I love that question. I love those kind of questions because in our skill room, one of the things that we really take a lot of pride in is being unselfish. And that's kind of like a day one talk to our skill guys. Hey, guys, if you're in this room, we just got to know, here's how it rolls in this league, right? The ball's going to get spread around. Do you trust your quarterback? Yeah, we got a great quarterback. We got a great quarterback, and we got a great backup quarterback. So you trust him. The ball's going to get. Do you like our offensive scheme? Yeah. Okay. Well, we love you guys too. We think you're all good, so we're going to spread it around. And sure, Ty is he's the main focus, but even Ty knows he's unselfish. He gets it. So other than that, we're going to spread it around. Everybody knows. You just watch our offense and the history of this scheme. You know, tight ends are a prominent part of it. You know, you saw that in the production that Jack had, and of course with the big year that Eric had. But our other receivers, one of the things I love about Andrew is, you know, Andrew, he looks at every one of our guys, every one of our receivers that are suiting up and playing on game day. He literally feels like these guys are the best guys in the world, and he has confidence in them. And I think the receivers feel that, so we don't have to say who's number 1, number 2. We're a group, and we're going to get it done no matter what that looks like.
Frank Reich is the head coach of the Indianapolis Colts. He's joining us this morning on the Fan Morning Show with Jeff and Big Joe. And, last year we were always asking you and Chris about Andrew Luck and getting health reports there. What's the health report on Jack Doyle right now?
Jack's making great progress, and that's great news for us, because Jack's a great player. And Jack's going to make great progress, because he's going to work and do everything necessary, so we're excited about where he's at.
I'm really excited to see this defense go too. These young guys that you just drafted, more speed, athleticism, and a bunch of, I don't know if hybrid is the right word, but maybe flexible. They seem to be able to play a lot of different positions. How will this defense look that's different from a year ago? Yeah,
I mean, the length and the speed, in this scheme, right, is really important. And so, that's what we did, and that's what we added. And Chris and his staff did a great job. And a lot of times you get guys with those traits, but what we didn't sacrifice was we didn't sacrifice the character and the heart of the kind of players we were looking for. So, Darius Leonard was kind of a prototype length and speed kind of guy. We added two more linebackers with that kind of length and speed. Secondary players with length and speed. So, building depth and quality playmakers. So that's what we're looking for.
Do you find any pass rushers in the rough in that? Because we know, obviously the signing of Justin Houston was really a positive thing, but you're going to be facing Phillip Rivers and Matt Ryan and Mahomes and Roethlisberger, Newton and Breeze. I mean, you got a set of quarterbacks this year. You didn't have to play last year. So how important is it to find some pass rushers early?
Yeah, it's really important because, as you said, we play some big-time quarterbacks that will be challenged. So, yeah, I do think we found some pass rushers in there. Banagoo is a really good pass rusher. And like you said, Joe, he's a little bit of a hybrid player. He's played defensive end. He's been primarily a pass rusher, but, is also, in the Senior Bowl and such, played some linebacker, and we feel like he does have some hybrid capabilities. But he can rush the passer, whether it's from a defensive end position or even from a linebacker position. I thought we saw that last year with Darius Leonard, that even though he's not a defensive end, you saw, the number of sacks he had. So I think, Bobby Okereke, here you got length and speed again. So our linebackers can be good rush guys as well. And then we really feel like the guys that we have here are going to continue to develop. The Terrays, the Taekwon Lewises, and so on and so forth. Those guys are going to continue to develop as well.
Frank, what can you learn about rookies at just a couple of days mini camp right after you get your first look at them? What can you glean from that? What we gleaned from seeing our guys were you did see that their length and speed showed up. You saw that they looked like they belonged. You saw that mentally they could handle it. We worked them pretty hard physically. They did a good job handling the physical load that we put on them. So it was a good 3 days.
I had a chance to visit with Nyheim Hines yesterday, and one of the things he was most excited about was maybe honing some of his skills as a returner. What are your initial thoughts in our return game?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's an area that you look for explosive plays. We want to get better. I thought our special teams last year was really performed well. We were, there's different rankings things for, we had the best punt team, best punt coverage team in the NFL. But the special teams rankings as a whole, we were highly ranked. So a real credit to the players and to Bubba, our special teams coordinator. But certainly the return game is an area that I think we can get a little bit better at. So, we'd be anxious to continue to work Nyheim. We think he's explosive, and Chester did a really nice job for us last year, and but we got to give them a little bit more help.
Is that Paris Campbell? Would he be in that mix too?
Yeah, Paris is a little bit more of a kick returner, and then we'll work him out some at punt returner and see how comfortable he is there. But he definitely has some kick return experience and ability as well.
Frank Reich, coach of the Indianapolis Colts, joining us here on FM 107.5, 1070 The Fan. The free agents, Devin Funchess, and then Justin Houston and Spencer Ware. Give me your thoughts on those guys as you head into OTAs. What are the expectations for them?
The expectations are, just continue to buy in, which they all have, and I'm excited about that, and just continue to press and get better. You can feel Justin's presence out there. He's a leader. You just know what he's accomplished. He's really a smart player, working hard to get better. Funchess, really excited about having him as well. So, and the impact that he's going to have, his playmaking ability, all the guys really. I mean, they've done a great job. That's part of the reason, when we sign these guys as free agents, that we're not like free agent happy. We're going to get guys that we feel like fit in, and all these guys have done that.
And we figured that you'd probably add some sort of veteran at the running back position. You brought in Spencer Ware. Your thoughts on him? And then any other chances of signing guys at this point, maybe some veteran guys this point of OTAs, or would you wait until, once the season starts and injuries may, determine whether or not you need to sign some more?
Yeah, we're excited about Spencer. He has obviously a history with Chris in Kansas City. And he had a really good year there. And I know I was coaching against him in a couple of those games where he had big games. So I've seen firsthand when I was on the other sideline what he can do. And like Spencer, because he's a tough guy, man. This guy's a tough guy and can get the tough yards. So he adds some physical presence there. So other than that, man, we're just looking forward to getting these guys going and getting into, we got another week of phase 2. And now then we get into OTAs and have a chance to, start practicing and getting more competitive.
All right. Last thing for me, it has to do with Andrew. And word is he has not even thrown a ball since the end of last year. Does that make you happy? At what point do you want to see Andrew throwing the ball again?
I think, Andrew is, I'm really comfortable with his schedule, and, it's something we talk about every week, what he's doing physically and what that's going to look like as far as throwing schedule. So it's just something we keep in constant communication on.
Any great vacations after the season? Anything good? Anything fun?
Spend time with family, new grandfather. So,
nice.
That's a big time priority. And then just enjoy that little bit of time we get off.
Well, congratulations. I know you got a lot of work to do, and we'll let you get back to it because the OTAs are coming up. We appreciate spending time with us this morning, and Coach, we'll look forward to seeing you soon.
Thanks, guys.